Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. It's Mike here. Well, we are in Maya once again, and today we're going to do something cool. We're going to be building a mesh distribution network. If you're not familiar with mesh in Maya, then stick around. It's a lot of fun, right? Okay, so what we need first is an object. Let's grab a cube. Okay, now we're going to manipulate a little bit. Let's make it a little bit more rectangular. We're going to hit R to scale, and we're going to do something like this. Now, mesh is a distribution network creator based on instances. And if you don't know what an instance is, you can kind of compare it to a copy of an object, but it's not exactly the same, and I'll show you. If I have this guy right here, and I hit Control D to duplicate, and hit W to move, and I go over here, and I right-click and go to Vertex, and I manipulate this, then my original changes, and my copy does not. Right? Okay. But if this is an instance, then they will be exactly the same. So if I go in here and I go and create a cube, and then I go to edit, duplicate special, option box, and I create an instance, and I create duplicate special, right? We got two. Now we go in here, right click vertex, and there you go. So that's one difference. The second difference is instances don't create additional faces because they're basically ghosts of our original, but you can put them in different locations and so on, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so let's start fresh. We're going to grab another cube right here. We're going to hit R. We're going to stretch it a little bit. There you go. That's our starting point. Now let's turn this into a mesh distribution network. Now there's a very easy way to do that. If you go to the top right corner where it says workspace, you're going to click on the drop down menu and you're going to go and look for mesh. And if you're my age, then you automatically think of the number 4077. Let me know in the comments if you know what that means, right? Okay, so we're going to close this out. We got this created, and what we're going to do next is we're going to go to the button up here where it says create a mesh network. Make sure you got your object selected, click on that. This will do a couple of things. It will set up a line of our objects here, and it will open up this menu. Now here you can already do a lot of things, but let's walk through what we got. We got our outliner, we're familiar with that. We have our attribute editor here where we have the mesh 1 open with all the options here. Down here we have our graph editor and we have our animation slider. Okay. Now I clicked on the mesh distribution network thingy and it created this, and you can go in here into this distribute and you can change the distance in Y, you can do a Z offset. You can do tons of things. You can rotate like this. You can scale where you have that going upwards, right? So this one is fairly thin. That one's going a bit thicker like that. Of course, you can scale in the other direction as well. Tons and tons of things you can do. Offset, you can do all that. So that's a lot of fun, right? Now also the distribution type, right now it's linear, it's set to a straight line, right? By the way, here are the number of our points. You can change that too, okay? Let's set it back to 10. Let's look at the linear right here. Let's change that to radial, which will create something like this. You can go back in here, you can do spherical. Now that doesn't look like a sphere at all, but if I go in here and I change the number of points to, let's say, 900, suddenly you got something looking like a sphere. All right, cool. Let's go back to 10. Let's not do spherical. Let's go and set it to grid, right? So it's set to grid, and what we're going to do next is we're going to kind of make a stack, right? So right now it says grid X is 3. You can set that to 3, 4, whatnot. Grid Y, let's set that to 3, and Z is already 3. So we got something like that, right? Okay, cool. So now what we can do is we can run the animation and see what happens, right? So we're going to hit the play button, and we're going to look at the screen, and you're going to see that nothing is happening here, right? The reason for that is that we didn't add any dynamics to our scene. So we're going to jump back to frame 1, and we're going to go in here, and we're going to make sure that we have the mesh distribution network, right? And then we're going to go up to the second symbol where it says mesh editor. And if you do that, you have our mesh network. You can hit the little plus thingy, and then you're going to go and look for dynamics, and here it is. And when you do that, let's close this out. You now have this dynamics tab under mesh 1 dynamics. Now we're not going to change anything. We're just going to hit play and see if anything happens at all. And be aware that we have this dotted line square with a plus in it. That is our virtual floor. So let's hit play and see if anything happens. We're going to hit play. And they're going to fall and they're going to hit the floor. So let's do it again. There you go. Now, there are a lot of settings here that you can play with. Let me turn off the grid so it's not in the way. Yeah. Okay. So let's say you want the pieces to bounce. And let's shorten the animation a little bit. Let's set that to 300. So they fall, and there they are. Now, let's increase the bounce, right? Let's set that to 1. All right, jump back to the beginning, hit play. There they go. And suddenly they're flying all over the place. Cool, right? So what else can you do? You can change the friction, right? You can bump up the friction a lot. Not sure if that will do anything, but we'll see. A little bit, right? So we're gonna set the bounce to 0.1, jump back. Let's see if that makes any difference. And it does. You see that they're kind of sticking together. They don't roll off, right? So let's see if I change that back. And let's see if they'll still stack. They're starting to fall. So yeah, there's definitely an effect. Okay. So yeah, next up what we're going to do is we're going to have this collide with an object. That's kind of fun, right? So let's grab a sphere. We're going to go to our modeling menu. We're going to go to, where is it? Polygon modeling right here. Let's grab a sphere and let's place that on our floor. Let's make it a bit bigger and set it right there, right? Then we're going to go back to our perspective. We're going to hit play and we're going to see that nothing will happen. Why not? Well, it's not interacting with the sphere because Mesh is using a bullet solver, and the bullet solver is not aware that it should interact with the sphere. So we have to tell the system to do that, right? Okay, so we're going to hit stop. We're going to jump back to frame 1, and what we're going to do is we're going to go into the bullet solver here. We're going to click on that, and here you have an opening, a window where it says collider objects. So what we're going to do is we're going to middle mouse button click on our sphere right here, hold it, drag it, and drop it into the window where it says collider objects. So now sphere shape 1 is included. Now we're going to jump back to frame 1, and we're going to hit play and see what happens. And now it's interacting with our sphere. And of course, you can now play some more with the dynamics and change the mass and the friction and all that kind of cool stuff. But this is one example of what you can do with a mesh network, right? If you want to see more videos on mesh, and there are tons and tons of things you can do with it, then let me know in the comments, right? Let's say if 10 people comment more mesh, then I will do more mesh videos. Now that's it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Do me a solid and hit that sub button if you haven't done that already. That would make my day. All right. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye.